Okay, hello there, and welcome to the iBookstore presentation by Amy Harrop and Deborah Drum. And today we're going to be talking about passive income in the iBookstore. And there's a lot of money to be made with the iBookstore, especially if you are already a publisher, and more specifically, a Kindle publisher. So let's get started. I am here today. This is Deborah Drum, and I am here with Amy Harrop. Say hello, Amy.
Hi everyone, this is Amy, and Debbie and I want to thank you for checking out our presentation. Debbie and I have quite a bit of experience publishing a variety of books, both to not only Kindle platform, but also other platforms such as Barnes & Noble and, you guessed it, the iBookstore. Not only are we writers and publishers, but we're also teachers and trainers as well. We love helping people publish their work and help them make more money.
Awesome. All right. So what we're going to be talking about today is passive and active income with iBooks. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, passive income, if you're familiar with Kindle publishing, you already kind of know what this is, where you sell your books on a platform and you constantly keep selling that book day in and day out, and you do that work once and it constantly works for you, and it could potentially work for you forever and ever. Active income with books in general, and it's more advanced training that allows you to become a publisher, and you offer your publishing services to other authors, or as we have it here, wannabe authors, meaning that everybody has a book inside of them, and you can actually be the one to help that person publish their book to Kindle, to the iBookstore, to any other platform, and you can get paid a lot of money providing this service to people. And so you have the option here to create that passive income or make active income, make that money on demand. If you wanted to go out literally after this presentation and start selling these services, you would be able to do that. So here's an iBookstore introduction, and when I first got started, Amy first got started, we really didn't know the specifics on what exactly this meant. So we're going to break it down for you right here. Number one, you can access the iBookstore through iTunes. At the top of the iTunes screen, there are some tabs up here, and it says Music, Movies, TV Shows, App Store, and Books. So when you click on Books and you search for a title, that is where you will find the iBookstore books, and that's where you eventually want your book to show up. The second place to access these books is through a mobile device, such as your iPhone, your iTouch, your iPad. And the icon looks like this. It's like a white book with a like a wooden paneling behind it, and it's absolutely free to download. And it's called iBooks. And once you get inside, it looks like this. And here's your virtual bookshelf. And this is where you want your book to be sitting on a mobile device or an iPad, this virtual bookshelf. So essentially what people will do is, I have it circled up here, they'll click on the store and then they can search for books, and if your book is and gets into the iBookstore, they will find your book that way and they'll be able to purchase it in that method. So those are the two ways that people can find and buy your books. Amy's going to talk about the iBookstore potential.
Right, so publishing in the iBookstore is going to get your content in front of a huge audience. Recently, the brand new version of the iPhone was released, and it was a huge hit, as all of Apple's product releases tend to be. And in addition to that, not only just talking about the iPhone in general, but more specifically the iPad, where many people do like to download and read books because it's just a lot easier to read and you get the full screen effect. The iPad has been a huge hit. Nearly 8 million people own iPads. And what's really interesting about iPad owners is the demographics. A large percentage of them make over $100,000 a year, and over half of them have a bachelor's degree or higher. So the demographics that you're going to be targeting in the iBookstore are people who are affluent, and it also tends to skew a little bit more toward men. So this is great because if you already have your books published, let's say, for example, on the Kindle platform, by putting your books into the iBookstore, you're going to actually be able to reach a slightly different demographic and broaden your audience. Not only that, but the Apple is going to be coming out with the iPad mini here, most likely before the end of this year. So there's going to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of those underneath people's trees come the holiday season, and it would be fantastic if you had your content on the iPad mini.
Yeah, and also to mention, to add to this, the iPhone 5 just came out, and there are actually, there's so many enhancements to the iPhone 5 that people who were kind of late to the market with even getting a smartphone, they still have those flip phones, they're going to start buying iPhones because they're just going to bite the bullet because the new iPhone is just, it's thinner, it's faster, it's 4G, and just so many new people are going to be entering the market. So that's really, really exciting. So some of the benefits to the iBookstore, there are several. First, as Amy just said, you're accessing another demographic, you're accessing another group of buyers. And right now, everything is Kindle, Kindle, Kindle. Everyone is, developing strategies to get bestsellers, and Amazon and Kindle, they're all talking about Kindle. So how about going somewhere where there is a lot less competition, which we'll see in a minute when we refer to keywords. And if somebody told you that you can access a market or a platform, whatever it is, and you can access and get into that market on broad keyword terms, not those long-tailed keyword terms that you have to target in Kindle because there's so much competition, but broad keyword terms. This is one thing that we discovered, and we're just, like every time we talk about this, we get really, really excited because there's so much potential here. And let's give an example just to show what we're really talking about.
If you're writing nonfiction in the Kindle market, if you're in a hot niche or even a moderately popular niche, you're going to have a lot of competition for those keywords, because the way it often works on Amazon is people go into the book category and then they type the subject of the book they want to know more about into the search box on Amazon. For example, paleo diet has been one of the hottest, if not the hottest diet this past year, and it has been incredibly popular. And because of that, if you go on Amazon and search for paleo diet in the books category, you're going to be coming up with over 540 results, and that's just for the keyword paleo diet. That doesn't even count related keywords like paleo cookbook. You're going to find over 300 paperback titles, and for the Kindle, over 131 Kindle titles that you're going to be competing with if you want to publish a book in the paleo diet category. That is a lot of competition. However, let's compare this to the iBookstore. If you were to publish a book on the paleo diet into the iBookstore, you would have only 19 competing titles. And what's really interesting about this is that that's pretty much all there is in the paleo diet category are these 19 titles. So you're not going to be having hundreds and hundreds of other books that you're going to be competing with. It's basically a screen and a half of search results. So it's going to be much easier for you to stand out and dominate the competition. And you could even take this a step further and add an additional keyword, Paleo Diet Cookbook, for example, and chances are you're going to be looking at under 10 or even under 5 competing titles. So you're going to be able to easily rank on first page, even number 1, for many, many broad keyword search terms for your book.
Which we are currently doing in several niches. I mean, this is how the magic actually happened for us, because we were basically just, trying to publish to as many platforms as we could, and we found that some of the books that we were actually publishing to the Kindle and to the iBookstore were selling better and more copies in the iBookstore than they were in Kindle. And even to add to that, there were some books that weren't selling at all in the Kindle that are selling month after month after month in topics that probably you can't even touch in the Kindle. So that's what makes this super, super exciting. So some more benefits to the iBookstore is you don't need a Mac. There is a myth out there that you need a Mac computer to publish to the iBookstore. There are definitely ways that you can publish with your Mac and with a specific app through the iBookstore, but you don't necessarily need one to do that. And also, it's another tool for lead generation. As we use in Kindle, sometimes we have our free days that we use for our promotional, but people can download our book for free. We can have free books on the iBookstore. Remember, this is another demographic. Maybe these people don't necessarily search Amazon, but they're searching in the iBookstore only, and they can find you through that channel. And the greatest benefit of all is that, especially if you are a Kindle publisher and you have Kindle books, the hard work is already done. So you can literally take those same books that you're publishing to the Kindle, maybe you're publishing them to other platforms, and head over to the iBookstore and publish them right then and there. And it's awesome, and it's another stream of income, passive income we're talking about, that you'll be seeing month after month. And this is what we see every single day. We log in to our account and we see a number of sales that come in, and they're coming in from literally all over the world. Here is just a screenshot of one book in 1 month that we have here, and you can start seeing this every day like we do, and it's really, really exciting. So the process of submitting your book to get it approved to get into the iBookstore, which we all want, is step 1, you submit your book. Step 2 is that a third-party aggregator plus Apple reviews your book. So it's a little bit different than Kindle and maybe CreateSpace, where it's kind of a quick turnaround, because step 3 is you wait. And then you wait some more, okay? So when I first started publishing to the iBookstore, it was around November of 2011, and it took about 6 days to turn around a book and either get it approved to the iBookstore. Now it takes about 3 or 4 weeks, and sometimes longer, for your book to get approved. And that's a really long turnaround, especially when you want to just start making money. And the result after you submit that book is either your book is accepted and you're really, really happy, or if you don't know what you're doing, like I didn't know, your book is rejected and you're really, really sad. So this is not a good feeling, especially after you spent so much time and energy trying to get your book on, and it's just not fun getting these rejection notices. let's talk about you can publish to the iBookstore too if, number one, your book is not on KDP Select.
This is Amazon's program where you are exclusively publishing to their Kindle platform for 90 days. And they do give you some benefits. They do give you 5 days of free days where you can promote your book for free and get some exposure that way. They do not allow you to publish your book on other platforms. So if you are interested in publishing to other platforms, what you'll want to do if your book is currently enrolled in KDP Select is make sure you have the automatically re-enroll box unchecked. They check that for you automatically, so you'll need to go into your book listing on the KDP dashboard and make sure it's unchecked. And then once your 90 days are up, you can go ahead and start publishing it in other platforms like the iBookstore.
Right. And, you know, KDP Select is not for everybody. So you might have to try your book out on KDP Select. If it works for you, then great. Then, you know, maybe you should consider keeping it there. But there are some books that it doesn't work that well for, and it doesn't really necessarily pay to keep it on the KDP Select program. And there you have more wiggle room to publish your book to other platforms like the iBookstore. And when I first started publishing, we didn't really know a lot about KDP Select, so I wasn't even considering that. And that's kind of how we fell into publishing on the iBookstore, because we were just trying to publish our books to as many places as we could, and KDP Select, we didn't have any of those restrictions. So that's kind of a quick story about how we got started doing this. You can also publish to the iBookstore too if you know how to do it. And we will tell you that there is a pretty steep learning curve when it comes to publishing to the iBookstore. It's definitely not the same as publishing to the Kindle or CreateSpace, where you publish your book at 8 p.m., you go to sleep, and then the next morning your book is magically available for sale. It just doesn't work like that with Apple, especially because they have higher, I guess, criteria of what they're looking for when it comes to published books. So when you're submitting your book, you're getting a review by Apple, and that's why it takes, or that's one of the reasons why it takes 3 or 4 weeks to get your book approved. And they have very specific guidelines that you need to follow and know about before you publish your book, because what happens is that you try to publish it and you do it wrong, because if you're taking that same formatted Kindle book and trying to publish it to the iBookstore, you better think again, because it's not going to work. Trust me, we know it, we've tried it, it doesn't work. So what's going to happen is you're going to submit your book 3 or 4 weeks later. You're going to get a whole bunch of errors, and you're going to have to go back and correct those errors and spend the time there figuring stuff out, which is really not fun to do. And here you are wasting 3 or 4 weeks that you could have been making sales on your book. Another thing is, don't get too comfortable with the 3 or 4 weeks, because once you submit your book again, they can actually reject your book for another slew of errors that you might have. So they're not necessarily going to be telling you every single thing that you've done wrong. So for example, they could decide to reject your book for improper capitalization. So if you have a book that has the word "the" in it and you capitalize the T in "the," your book can be rejected. And so the type of errors that you're getting back are not like common sense that you're going to know about before you submit your book. Okay? Like Amazon, Kindle, they don't care about this stuff. Apple does. So there are pretty steep guidelines that you have to follow in order to get your book successfully published. So you can make a choice. you can try to do all the stuff yourself and go through the huge learning curve that we went through, or you can pretty much just take the fast lane and speed past the learning curve and start making money immediately, because there is a lot of money to be made, especially if you know how to publish books. Even if you don't, even if you're not a Kindle publisher, and you want to start, we always recommend kind of starting with Kindle first to get your feet wet, just so you know what publishing is all about. But this is a huge buyer's market where you can tap into and start making money immediately.
Right, and Debbie is absolutely right about that. We showed you a little earlier in this presentation sales for one book for 1 month. Now, that's not with doing any marketing. You probably, if you do publish on the Kindle, know that just because your book is published on the Kindle doesn't mean you're going to be necessarily getting any sales. A lot of times, especially now with the increasing competition in the marketplace, you have to do a lot more marketing and promotion. Well, on the iBookstore, you can start making sales immediately once your book is actually in the bookstore, because there's so little competition. You do not need to do any extensive marketing or promotion if you want to. You can just publish your book and then start working on the next one.
Yeah, whereas with Kindle, if you're just publishing your book, you're probably making a big mistake without doing anything additional on top of just publishing your book in terms of the marketing and the promotions that you should be doing, because it does make a huge difference. So today we're offering our iPub shortcuts, and that's what we call our product. And what it is it's a membership site. You got a user, it's password protected. You got a username and password, and you're a member for life. And what it contains is a PDF guides that show you step by step what exactly you need to do to get your book published. We've already have students that followed in our footsteps and followed our guides and are successfully publishing every single day. They have not got rejected for any reason, because every single error that you could possibly get back, we've already found. And the ones that we still might be uncovering, maybe like from our students, we'll get some errors back. We keep updating this PDF and our program. To accompany the PDF, we also give video step-by-step tutorials so that you can see exactly what you have to do. Some people love to follow along with video and see it being done right in front of their eyes, and we show those exact steps, everything you need to know to manipulate your document in order to get your book accepted. And I love this. We have our quick start guides, which include checklists. Now, Amy and I have published hundreds of books, and we still refer back to our checklists, because we do not want to waste 4 weeks because we forgot that we had to capitalize a word, or we forgot this thing or that thing. We don't want to forget. So every time we publish, yep, we check it off the list. We check it off the list, and we always refer back, and this is completely done for you.
Right, and these checklists and quick start guides, once you've gotten a handle on the process, are great to be able to train your outsourcer with. So once you've gone through the training, if you prefer to have an outsourcer published to the iBookstore, they're going to have all the material that they need so they can get your material up there quickly. They can just follow the guides and the checklists.
Yeah, it's amazing. So this alone is worth its weight in gold, because nobody else out there is teaching this but us, and we've outlined everything. But we're not going to stop here because we want to over-deliver. We are also going to offer some bonuses, but in addition to the training described, we're also going to give you a complete keyword research specific for the iBookstore. This is different from any other book publishing keyword or Kindle publishing keyword research that you might have, because we are dealing with a market that is literally untapped, as you've seen with our paleo diet example. And there are tons of other niches out there that that you can pretty much dominate with the iBookstore. So we're going to show you that as well. And that's not all you get in terms of the iPub Shortcuts product. Amy's going to go ahead and talk about all the different bonuses that we have to offer.
Right, so we have a lot going on here in the members area, a lot of great bonuses. The first one we have is how to publish your books to Smashwords. We provide complete training. Smashwords is another platform that is quite popular, and the training that they provide is incredibly complicated and difficult to follow. And what we have is very easy to follow training so you can get your book successfully published onto Smashwords. We also have training to show you how to publish your books to the Barnes & Noble Nook. This way you are publishing to multiple platforms and you're going to be able to get more royalties for your book much easier. Now, with the new iPad mini, the new iPhone, the new Kindle readers, there's tons of new e-readers out there that are color-based. And we've also included a really great bonus that's going to show you and tell you what you need to know so you can successfully use color images in your publishing. And very important, we have a great bonus here that's going to give you some secrets and tips to promote your book easily with social media.
Yeah, and our last bonus here is specifically for Mac users, and there is, as we talked about earlier, there is a way to publish to the iBookstore using a Mac and using the apps that are only available with a Mac computer. And you know, none of the ways that we show you are extremely easy to do. So with this training, it will definitely help you, especially solve the mysteries of just how to get started and where to go, step A to B to C. But none of these are ever going to be as easy it is to publish to the Kindle or CreateSpace or even Pubit. You know, those are the three main or the three easiest places to publish your book. All the other ones take a little bit of finagling, a little bit of extra work, but I'll tell you, with our checklist that we have, we've got this system down to publishing your book to less than 10 minutes because we already know the steps to take, exactly what to do to format our document, to get over some of these hurdles like these capitalization, similar type hurdles that that goes hand in hand with publishing to the iBookstore. So we've done it all, and you can get this here today. If you click on the link below, you will see that the investment today is a one-time fee of $97. And we've actually lowered this, and we're not quite sure when we're going to increase this back to $197. Again, because we are the only ones that are teaching this information, we want to give you a deal. We want to give you especially a deal to take action today and not wait, because waiting is just not going to do you any good. And you can get started immediately, literally. We had people, we did a few webinars, and people were in the membership site, and they were like all loving the stuff that we created, and we usually over-deliver. We've already made updates to the membership site with new content because of some of the things that we were getting asked and some of the changes that we notice in the industry. We're quick responders, and we just love to give the information, especially to our customers.
That's right, and you want to go ahead and get started with this sooner rather than later. Not only are all these great new devices coming out now, and people are going to be buying them in droves come the holiday season, but also because you have the ability to be one of those first movers who does have the only book listed for Paleo Diet Cookbook or any of these other popular, highly searched niches. So this is a good time to get in there and to be one of the few people who is publishing on the iBookstore, so you can be the one reaping the royalties instead of waiting.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this training. We love doing this stuff, and you'll see us inside the membership area. And again, it is a membership area, but it's a one-time fee. There's no reoccurring charges or anything like that. So you have access for life, and you'll be able to really prosper like some of our other students are doing. So thanks for joining us today, and we wish you all the luck with your book publishing career.